Okay, so let's create a new document. Maybe for now, just to cut the letter size. 8.5 by 11. Create it. Okay. I'm going to type in just neutral word without any specific meaning. Word. Okay. And that your typographic choice will be varied, depends on the meaning and then on the mood and the tone of your choice of your word. But for now, let me try something bold and heavy. I like that, but I'm gonna use Arial black. Arial black. Okay, Arial black. And then for this project, since we're going to combine with the actual illustration, please create outlines. In that way, it is more manageable and then you can do more things. And let me make the other multiple copies of this. So I can show you some other stuff. Make it a little bit smaller, too small. Okay. Okay, so I have 4 words. 4 words. But these are all graphics now. It's not typefaces. It looks like WORD, but it is kind of, it's graphics. So first, maybe the very first thing you want to try, you can play with is under effect menu. Because we will need to do maybe, it depends, but some distortions. So under effect menu, there are some distortion menus, but let me show, you can play with them. It's kind of fun to play, and you can see how it works. But I'm gonna show you this, warp tool, effect warp, and arc. Just choose one of them. And by moving this slide bar side by side, you can see how it works. Even horizontally distortion or vertically. Okay, something like this. So maybe for example, for this arc, I don't know, if my choice of word is the arch, then I may try this, and then I may add some kind of illustrations, for example, like some kind of architectural illustrations, but very minimum, so I can cooperate with that. So maybe the final product may have a look of arch, like in using the Adobe's or the bricks, something like that. Just go over all these kind of different choices. This, I don't know, it reminds me of some kind of a smiling face or the mouth. Upper, another arch, arc and arch. Maybe from this, oh, it reminds me of the face mask. Flag. Wave, rise, and fisheye. So there are a lot of things you can, it's kind of a fun tool. So for example, let me try the flag. And then I can control the amount of the distortion by moving this slide bar side by side. So let me say, oh, I like it. Okay, but this is not enough because we will need to give some more clues for the people. So let me say, if I use this word and this effect as a flag image, then there might be some kind of another graphic device or graphic language to help or to give more clues, like flag pole, or some maybe American USD, the national flag stripe pattern, something like that. But what happened is, once you apply the warp tool, as you can see that, it has the kind of a blue outline of the original shape. So that means we can't control it anymore. So this is kind of really a useful tool. So once you choose your word after warp application, under object menu, you're going to see that, where are you? Expand appearance. Then, by default settings, all the 4 letters will be grouped like this. And then under object menu, you can ungroup it. Meaning, now I can select letter by letter. So if you need it, now this is a graphic. It's not a text anymore. And they are ungrouped. Meaning, by using this direct selection tool, white arrow, let me zoom in. You can select point by point, like we did before. And then we can have more distortions. I don't know what it is, but yeah, we can do that. If you want to replace the maybe one letter in between, for example, letter O, we can just get rid of it. And then I may find kind of a similar looking and similar structure illustration can replace the current letter and relate it to a choice of my word. For example, like a Paris, maybe Eiffel Tower. Then, I don't know, I may replace the big letter A with the illustrations of Eiffel Tower. Maybe there's something we can think about. Next, this one, let's do something a little bit different, which is going to be really useful. So, word. For this assignment, we're going to use a black and white, but also you can have a gray tone as well. But we're going to stay in the grayscale images. So let me try this. I don't know how to use it, but I want to break this entire word, 4 letters, to half. So let's try this. Let me draw kind of a rectangle, skinny rectangle in the middle. So covering kind of a half bottom or half top, doesn't matter. Then let me select all of them. Then go to Windows menu, open Pathfinder. Under Window and Pathfinder. Okay, so I will explain more about this, but in this Pathfinder, there are a lot of options here. And what it does, it will so there are kind of a lot of overlapped sections. So based on the each tool, it will select or deselect or combine everything into one. So that's how it works. So let me try this. On the very bottom, divide. Choose that. Click on it, and nothing's happening. Now, is it raining? Okay. Now deselect. So it looks the same. Then try this. Use your direct selection tool, white arrow. It sounds like music. Then let me choose this bottom with this white arrow direct selection tool. Make sure you're clicking in the middle, not on the border. And hit the delete key, so it's gone. And there are more pieces. For example, here, I can delete that. This one, I can delete that. And let me zoom in. There are tiny triangles. Yes, triangles. I'm gonna get rid of them. So it looks the same, but I'm still with this white arrow direct selection tool. By holding down the shift key, you can keep adding your selection, and we can divide it. I don't know where to use it, but somehow we can use it. Or maybe let me select the top by holding down the shift key, and then using this rotate tool in your toolbox, I may rotate it. Like something's opening. Okay, let me do some more kind of similar to this. I'm going to draw another kind of the same thing here, but I want to apply a little bit different shape. So in your toolbox, once you keep pressing your pen tool, there's another tool. It's called the add anchor point tool, the plus pen tool. The pen tool with a plus sign. Let me place my mouse cursor, my pen tool, on top line of this rectangle, and let me add the point. Then, still that rectangle is selected, and back to the pen tool, keep pressing your button. There's the last one, is called the anchor point tool. With this one, and placing your mouse cursor on that new point, and keep pressing and drag it. And we can have something like this. And then I'm going to repeat the same steps as I did for the top one, for this one. So select everything, and Pathfinder, apply divide, release, and with the direct selection tool, let me get rid of unnecessary portion. No. Let me zoom in. It's a little pieces. You go away, you go away, you go. Yep, and this one. Then, as I did, I may select the top or bottom half using the hold down your shift key and keep clicking, so we can keep adding the selection. So I chose the top. Then let me just apply like a light gray or dark gray on top. So I don't know where I can use it. Maybe something related to water, wave. But this shape doesn't have to be like this. So this is where you can use your imagination and your creativities. Like, for example, my word is a mountain. Then I may have a kind of a similar shapes, but as a kind of a mountain line, or city line, or something else. So it depends. I don't know. Maybe a kind of funny thing I just think about now. if I have the word like a concert, rock concert, and then I may have the silhouettes of hands, all different kinds, cheering, something like that. So that may be something we can try. Yeah, my daughter, she's a big fan of MCR. Do you guys know them? My Chemical Romance. Okay, I'm not, but she, I don't know, she bought a lot of kind of the goods, hoodies and hats and t-shirts, and those are expensive. I don't like it. Okay. Her favorite store is Hot Topics, and then I'm glad the Concord Mall is closed. Okay, so let's do another one. Oh, for example, oh yeah, let me show you this real quick. Under the effect menu, we use the warp tool. So for example, like a squeeze, we can do this. So I don't know, depends on your kind of choice of your word. It kind of looks like something kind of tying off. Maybe you may think about that. So, okay, and next one, I will do kind of the same thing, but this time for the slicing things like I showed you. So basically, I'm going to use the same techniques. So let me draw another skinny rectangle, but I will overlap it with my letters slightly on top only, just like this. Not too much. Now let me do the same thing. Select everything, Pathfinder, divide, release it, and direct selection tool, and delete unnecessary shape. So it looks the same, but now what I can do is, let me zoom in, because there's a little kind of really tiny pieces. I'm going to select all shapes. When you choose it, when you select your pieces with this direct selection tool, this tool, be careful. If you click on this border, I mean at the point, each point, what happened now is it looks like I'm selecting it, but I'm selecting only this point. So you can see that it is filled in blue. Other points are empty. So this means they're not selected yet. So make sure you click in the middle and hold down the shift key to keep adding your selections. Like that. Okay, then I'm gonna make that kind of a slicing things. So under object menu, scroll down, you're gonna see that envelope distort. Make with warp, it will be linked to the warp tool we used. We're gonna use make with mesh. So I'm recording this kind of tutorial and then I'm going to upload it so you can view it. Make with mesh. Now, let me make it kind of a simple. I'm gonna have one rows and two columns only for now. It's gonna be simple. So one rows and two columns. Yes, one rows and two columns. Okay, so it looks like this. It looks pretty simple. And then, still, this direct selection tool is deselected. And just to click on, just to select the 2 points at the end. Let me zoom in a little bit. And hold down the Shift key and click the bottom one. Then place your mouse cursor here, the last point, and push. You can move it. If I move more up like that, and then also each anchor point has the handler like this blue line. Then by moving this, I can lower my line like that to give some kind of more sense of a slicing. I can keep adding more. Maybe let me select the center 2 line, the points. Oops, not caps lock. Let me move it up by hitting the arrow key. Oops, I didn't select that. Do it again. Okay. So word. Oh. Okay. But once you apply any effect like this, then we can keep adding. So for example, let me say I do a word broken or breaking or break. Then if something hits certain kind of like a glass, then there will be cracked, and also there might be some kind of debris on the floor. So if you want to have that things, we can try this. By using the pen tool, let me draw kind of really simple in black. Zoom in. Let me draw kind of several pieces. One. I'm going to have the small pieces and the big one. Okay. Then again, you can select all like we did. Then Pathfinder again. Divide. So I keep using the kind of the same tools now. Release. And direct selection tool. Let me zoom in more. Now I can get rid of unnecessary pieces. And then for that, I'm going to move it down. So something's broken. So we can do something like that as well. Okay. So in this case, maybe we're using it using some tools like a divide tool and then a direct selection tool, and then also you can change the shape. You can distort it even more. So for example, Halloween's coming, like a blood bleeding or sticky, something like that. So we can use these things as well. Okay. There are more kind of the things we can try, but it's a kind of something we can play with for now as a kind of a beginning status. Okay. Any questions so far? Okay, you're gonna have more questions because you really want to do this. I want to have this effect. I want to draw the shape of Casper or the outline. Then you may have some more questions as you go. Let's go forward. But maybe for now, we'll choose your word and start working on this. Okay. All right, and let's take a break.